Her name was Margaret. She was 74, widowed and living alone in a quiet brick house at the edge of town. The days were slow, the stairs got steeper, and the strength she once had, to garden, to carry groceries, even to laugh with her whole body, seemed to vanish quietly, piece by piece. It wasn't sudden. No, that's the hardest part. It was gradual, insidious. First, she stopped walking to the park. Then the jars in the kitchen became too tight to open. And one morning, while lifting a pan, she felt something pull in her shoulder, a small reminder from her body that muscle doesn't last forever. She sat down, hands trembling, staring out the window with tears in her eyes. Not because of the pain, but because of the powerlessness. "Is this how it ends?" she whispered. Not in tragedy, not in a single moment, but in slow retreat. A quiet giving up. But life, as it often does, leaves hints of hope in the most unexpected places. Her daughter, a nurse, came over that evening. She noticed the pain, the loss of appetite, the fatigue, and instead of a lecture or another pill, she gave her something simple, a small jar of seeds, golden, earthy, and almost too humble to matter. "Try this," she said. "Fenugreek. It's an old remedy, but it's coming back. There's more to it than you think." Margaret laughed. "You think this is going to fix that?" she asked, motioning to her aging body. But her daughter smiled. "Just give it time." And so she did. A teaspoon in her tea, a pinch in her stew. Some nights she soaked the seeds and blended them into her soup, almost forgetting they were there at all. And then something shifted. It wasn't dramatic. But one day she realized she had gone the whole week without that deep ache in her calves. The next week she opened a jar of jam without help. Then she walked to the mailbox and back without leaning on the rail. Slowly, her strength began to return. What Margaret didn't know was that inside each of those tiny seeds was a hidden arsenal. Fenugreek is rich in protein, the kind that matters most when your body starts to break down. It feeds the muscles, repairs the tissue, and gives your arms, legs, and back the fuel to carry you through your day. It's loaded with magnesium, a mineral most seniors are unknowingly deficient in. Magnesium doesn't just support muscle relaxation and reduce cramps. It's involved in hundreds of tiny reactions inside the body, helping with energy, calmness, even sleep. And then there's the soluble fiber, the part that most people forget. It cushions your digestion, stabilizes your blood sugar, and keeps those after-meal crashes at bay. It slows sugar absorption, preventing those dangerous spikes and dips that can leave seniors lightheaded or exhausted. But this seed's magic isn't just in the science. It's in its gentleness. No harsh side effects, no chemical aftertaste. Just food, simple, natural, and deeply nourishing. And Margaret? Months later, she stood in her garden again, hands in the soil, sun on her face, humming a tune she hadn't sung since her husband passed. She still moved slower than she used to, but now she moved with purpose, with control, with pride, because she learned something many forget. Healing doesn't always come from hospitals. Sometimes it comes from the earth, from nature, from small things that whisper rather than shout. Fenugreek isn't a miracle, but for some, for many, it's a beginning, a seed of strength, a spark of balance, a quiet partner in the long, sacred journey of aging. So if you or someone you love is feeling the weight of time, the stiff joints, the muscle loss, the fatigue, maybe it's time to go back to the roots. Literally. Start with a seed. Start with fenugreek. And remember this, you are not fading, you are transforming, and transformation, even in your later years, is not only possible, it is beautiful